How's it going, guys? Welcome back to my channel, Fast Hands Gaming. I'm your boy Fast, and we're back on Clash of Beasts today, and we have Cicada. I know after the last event, I'm sure a lot of people have finally been able to get, if they needed to, all 12 keys and probably get into the branch a little bit. So I thought I would go ahead and show off Cicada, and then I will go over its pros and cons, and then I will talk about the between him and Guruma. So right off the bat, his first ability is a lot like Tantalos. It does a damage over time. It's about the same amount of duration it takes to kill a tower as Tantalos. So it's not super fast like it originally was, but it does help mages. And I really do like this ability, especially since it doesn't take away from their slots of spells that they can use. So again, this is something I really like in him and in Tantalos, and I hope they continue to keep doing this kind of damage or bleed or poison effect, especially for mages. Now, his next ability is Swarm of Locusts. So this is basically an HP shield. You don't take damage as long as the swarm is up, and it also does damage to the nearby towers. You tap the spell again, and the swarm will go away, and you can heal the swarm. Mind you, if the swarm dies, you will not get it back at all. So this is one of those things that you're going to have to be playing around with, especially when you're attacking bases, because again, the minute the swarm dies, you cannot heal them at all. Mind you, you can take it down to just a sliver and heal them back to full health, but again, that's something you're going to have to be really careful about. Then we have his Poison Spray. So this is in an arc form where he uses his staff, just doing more of the damage. So it does damage and stun and poisons any towers in the direction. So obviously this, and then on top of his normal attack that's always already poisoning, is pretty decent. So he's all about the poison and the damage over time. And then we have his single target, Venom Vial. So this destroys any tower instantly and damages the surrounding towers and then puts them into a weakened attack debuff. And then his final ability that you unlock is going to be Loyal Sacrifice. And I'm not going to go into like the pros or cons or anything like that yet. Basically, this allows you to sacrifice some of your HP shield or the swarm, and you will get mana. Mind you, if the shield is gone, you cannot activate this effect. So these two abilities are basically a double-edged sword. Both give you a way to survive and to get through a base. However, without one, you can't get the other. So we'll go ahead and kind of show him off, just nice and easy. Nothing amazing because he's still pretty low level. And here we go. So as you can see, he instantly already has that HP shield, the swarm going, and you can see that it's already taken damage. So if you simply turn that off, you can watch, and that little bar will start to increase. And back to full health. And then we have his spray ability. So it really only does maybe 2 towers. It's not super effective. And as you can see, the range is you got to be pretty close with that range. Okay, so the swarm is healed. We'll go ahead and sacrifice a little bit of them, get that mana. So as you can see, the mana regen is pretty high. You get quite a bit right back. And like I said, you're going to have to really watch when your swarm is getting kind of low. And then it does have a cooldown. And so there's that. And see, as you see, the swarm died, so there is no healing, there's no nothing. So again, that's something you're gonna have to watch out for. So just going over just one attack, let's go ahead and kind of break him down as a beast. So first off, the big thing, I do think he's kind of cool in what he does. However, I'm just going to go over the cons right now. I really don't like the fact that you have 2 abilities that rely so heavily on each other. Basically, you lose that swarm, and you could very easily do so. I mean, with mega shots. I mean, I'm guessing from what I saw, and then poison, the barrels. So you have to be really careful. And so that means if you need mana, you have to sacrifice your swarm. Obviously, if you're going through a base and there's defenders, you're going to want that up because he will die. He has no other way to really handle taking damage. So that's what I really don't like, is first off, the swarm and the mana just bothers me. I don't think it's a good pair. Again, maybe just because he's low level. They didn't say the swarm would get, have a higher HP the higher level he gets, and I doubt that they do because it is technically a spell. And the spells obviously don't ever get stronger with the beast. The beast just itself gets stronger. However, I do like the fact that it can poison so many towers. Con, I don't really like the poison spray. You got to be really close, and again, if you're getting that close, you got to worry about your shield, and there's just going to be a lot of issues. However, I do like the fact that the mana regen is so high, you get quite a bit back, and if you use that, you can then turn off your swarm, and then they will heal right back to full. So that is kind of a good thing, that you can sacrifice from your swarm and get them fully health again. However, like I said, again, it really bothers me that I have to rely on 2 spells, and if I lose 1 spell, the swarm, basically if you lose the swarm, you lose 2 spells, and I don't like that personally. Maybe some other players won't mind. So basically he's got short range, and you have to really watch the swarm on Cicada. Now, if we're talking about Guruma, obviously, right off the bat, his whole cold resistance, where you can swap between projectile and laser, and when you do so, when you take damage from the corresponding one, you will gain mana. It's kind of weak, but again, you're not sacrificing a way to protect yourself, really. It's just a passive. So while it's not super amazing, it's not super bad at the same time. Now, I do really like his Protective Blizzard. This, to me, is a lot way better than the Swarm. I'd rather have a short time of invincibility and not have to lose a spell if it goes away or gets blown up. I also really do like the Hailstorm ability, because in correlation with the shield, you can use both of these and gain quite a bit of health back. And then we also have his Ice Barrage, which is kind of slow. It is a single target, and it does usually kill a tower, and he can shoot down the middle. The power behind him feels really weak. And if you haven't seen his gameplay, I'll go ahead and show you guys what I mean. And so remember, when you use that ability, if you put the shield up like I'm doing, you're not going to obviously gain any mana because you're not going to be taking any damage. So that is another con for him. I wish you, if you were just to, even if you're not taking damage, you can still use the ability. As you can see here, he does pretty good damage, and I do like that effect. If you just saw that, you can use people's beasts on the spirit towers to increase the mana. Obviously, if it's a rogue, though, rogue, I haven't really seen or tested, honestly, to which beast is going to needs to be on a base to get the mana. So I'm guessing a berserker would be a laser, and everything else I'm just going to assume is projectile, because that was a tank. So the next big issue I have with him, as you can see, it's not, you can't really always rely on that mana. Again, you got to take damage, and the power behind him is the next issue. He just feels very underwhelming, power-wise. I think if he had a bit more power behind his hits, I think his spells would probably be a lot better. with him, but again, he just feels a lot weaker. So really, between the two of them, I would honestly go with Cicada. Only because Cicada has a little bit more reliable way to get mana, and you really do need that mana. However, again, you just gotta be careful with it. Both beasts are not absolutely terrible, but I mean, from everyone who played last season, obviously these two are very underwhelming. It's gonna come down to what you want to play. However, I think Cicada is going to be obviously the main go-to for a lot of people, but if you like Berserkers, you can go with Guruma, just to understand that his power is really weak compared to Cicada. Cicada does hits a bit harder, but it has shorter range. So range-wise, Cicada is lacking, Guruma is not. Mana-wise, Cicada can win, Guruma is lacking. And then the single target, I would honestly go with Guruma because it can still shoot down the middle with the laser. So those are really going to be the key factors for both these beasts. So it just comes down to, like I said, range, the mana, and the single targeting. Really, so I hope this kind of helps some people. And let me know which one you picked in the video, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.